And here they are for the next three. Trey Savage heads to the mound tonight for the Blue Jays as we head to the broadcast booth for the Friday Focus. Here's Dan Shulman and Joe Siddall.
Jamie, thank you very much. As you mentioned, it's always a little bit different when the Yankees are in town. It's a Friday night. The roof is open, and at long last, Alejandro Kirk is back.
Oh, it's so important what Alejandro Kirk brings to this team on both sides of the ball. We know as a catcher behind the plate, phenomenal at receiving pitches, blocking pitches, handling his pitching staff, and the experience that he brings in that regard. But at the plate as a hitter, it's a calm approach. It's a disciplined approach. Hopefully some of his teammates can pick up on some of his cues. It's more important, how is the playing time now going to be divvied up? I don't think the Blue Jays can just throw him in there every day for a week straight. Brendan Valenzuela has done some unbelievable things, taken full advantage of his opportunity. You got to get that bat in there on occasion as well, but I think they'll do it very carefully with their #1 backstop in Kirk.
Tyler Heineman DFA'd to make room on the roster for Alejandro Kirk, and Kirk will be catching Trey Savage tonight. An outstanding outing against the Yankees 3 weeks ago in the Bronx. He will try to build upon that here tonight in the opener of this series.
Dan, that is the Friday Focus presented by McCain. Together is golden. And as promised, astronaut Jeremy Hansen with a ceremonial first pitch, well received. A capacity crowd tonight at the Rogers Center. Here's the toss.
It was a floater.
It was a floater.
And a strike.
Well done. The game is next on Sportsnet. Enjoy.
You're watching Rogers Friday Night Blue Jays Baseball, presented by McCain. And what a night it is. It is warm. The roof is open. It's the weekend. The Yankees are in town. Alejandro Kirk is back and in the lineup. Trey Savage is on the mound. There is a lot to talk about in what should be a very interesting game and a very interesting series, as it always is when these two teams get together. We'll look at the Yankee lineup. Trent Grisham, cold when the Blue Jays saw the Yankees 3 weeks ago. Very hot right now, but you'll notice the absence of Aaron Judge. Judge on the IL with a stress fracture in a rib, but the Yankees still very dangerous. Rice, Bellinger having good years. Goldschmidt is hot. Chisholm has gotten hotter. McMahon has heated up. They saw Trey Savage a few weeks ago, Joe. They did not have much success at all.
Trey making his 9th start of the season, 2-3 with that ERA just over 3 at 3.16. The walks have been a bit of an issue. Yes, he's striking batters out. He walked 7 Orioles 2 starts ago. He faced those Orioles again in his next start, went into the 6th inning, but gave up 6 runs, including a couple of home runs. I think fastball command is going to be critical for him, and it's not so much commanding in the zone for me, Dan, but make sure the four-seamer's in the zone enough so you can get these Yankees hitters in swing mode. That's when his secondary stuff plays so well.
And it was kind of a tale of 2 starts within that 1 start last time out against the Orioles. He was great through 5, but then 5 of the 6 runs scored in the 6th. Aaron Boone brings his Yankees into Toronto on a 4-game winning streak. The Yankees are a season high 15 games over 500. And we are underway with a challenge on the first pitch coming from Alejandro Kirk.
Catches challenge.
Don't mess with Kirky. Don't mess with him.
This closer look is brought to you by Specsavers. And let's see. It's a strike.
He's overturned. Toronto has 2 remaining.
Well, that didn't take long.
Welcome back, Alejandro.
So it is 0-1 on Grisham. As we mentioned, very hot the last 2.5 weeks. Almost started exactly after the Blue Jays left New York. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Andres Jimenez ranging to get it 1 down.
Defensively behind Trey Savage tonight. Welcome back also to Davis Schneider. He gets the start in left field with Dalton Varsho heading to the injured list. Miles Straw is in center. Nathan Lucas over in right, and on the infield left side's normal as can be. Okamoto and Jimenez. Right side as well. Clement and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Alejandro Kirk is the backstop for his first game back from injury.
Here's Ben Rice, an OPS over 1,000 on the year. hitting close to 300. He's got 18 home runs. He is the DH tonight. Also sees a lot of time at first base. Check swing. Kirk the appeal, but he didn't go. For Kirk, by the way, this is just his 6th game this season. He was hurt way back at the beginning of the year, April the 3rd in Chicago, the fractured thumb. And the Blue Jays played 62 games while he was on the IL. Brandon Valenzuela still with the club. As we mentioned, the decision was to DFA Tyler Heineman. Valenzuela just playing so well as now Rice draws a walk that he kind of forced their hand. Instead of optioning Valenzuela, they DFA'd Heineman. They run a real risk of losing Heineman. If a team claims him, he's gone. If nobody claims him, he can become a free agent and then choose where he wants to sign. But John Schneider kind of alluded to the fact that obviously they're hoping he stays in the organization, and maybe they think that's a possibility if he goes unclaimed, that Heineman would want to stay with the Blue Jays organization to go to Buffalo. That'll play itself out over the next 5 to 7 days. However it turns out, obviously we wish Heineman the best, and a big part of this team.
He sure was.
Big part of this team last year.
John mentioned that a couple of times today, and it's a little emotional when you lose a guy that's been with you like that.
Paul Goldschmidt will pop one up in foul territory. Guerrero's got room and will make the grab, 2 down.
But it's absolutely the right move with what Brandon Valenzuela. He just forced their hand. The way he has been swinging the bat, the way he has been performing behind the plate, and good on a young player taking advantage of that opportunity. He certainly more than filled the void while you had the offensive Alejandro Kirk on the injured list. So hopefully Alejandro can keep swinging it and still find some time while Valenzuela swinging that hot bat.
And they're not going to rush Kirk in there, 6 games a week or anything right away. Valenzuela is still going to get his fair share of playing time. Here's Cody Bellinger, swings through a high fastball, 0-1. We'll talk more a little bit later about how these catchers might be utilized in the coming weeks for the Blue Jays. But first, Bellinger, dangerous guy. And he lifts one to right field. It is fairly deep, but it is playable. It is caught by Lucas, and nothing across for the Yankees in the top of the first. To the bottom of the first in this scoreless game, George Springer will lead it off and DH here tonight. And with a lefty on the mound for the Yankees, John Schneider has 7 right-handed bats in that lineup, including, of course, the one that belongs to Alejandro Kirk. Great to have the all-star catcher back in the lineup for the Blue Jays. The 2 lefties, Nathan Lucas hitting 6th, Andres Jimenez hitting 9th. As Joe mentioned, Davis Schneider back with Dalton Varsho going on the IL, playing left, batting 8th. And they will face a guy they saw in that series in New York a few weeks back, in Ryan Weathers.
Weathers is just 26 years old, the son of former big leaguer David Weathers. He's in his 6th season. He was a first-round pick of the Padres back in 18. He's pitched for the Marlins as well. Was traded to the Yankees in January, and that bolsters the back of their rotation. Aaron Boone almost got him into the game the other day when Carlos Rodon was in Cleveland on a hot, sticky day.
He was in kind of emergency long relief duty, and had he been needed there, he wouldn't have started here. In the start against the Blue Jays on May the 18th, he gave up 5 runs, including a couple of homers, one of them hit by George Springer. And slashes this one foul, 1-1.
He will use that 4-seamer up in the zone, the sinker down. He's got 2 different breaking balls, the sweeper and the slider. He could backdoor them to the righties away. He's also got the changeup, so lots of different weapons, but the 4-seamer is the one these hitters need to be looking for. It's been hit hard.
The velocity is good on that 4-seamer, but still he's given up a lot of damage on it. He gave up the Springer home run, as mentioned. He also gave up a 3-run homer to Ernie Clement in that game. Fouled back.
That is one heck of a hack on a 1-2 pitch. That's a little bit of a description too of how the game has changed over the years. George coming out of his shoes there.
But whether George is hot or cold, he's trying to do damage all the time.
It's who he is.
Yeah. Fly ball right field. Spencer Jones back a few steps, makes the play, 1 down.
Defensively behind Weathers tonight for the Yankees, one of the best outfielders in the game, Cody Bellinger. He is in left field, Trent Grisham in right. Spencer Jones making just his 7th big league start in right field since Aaron Judge hit the IL. He's been mostly a center fielder in his minor league career. McMahon and Caballero on the left side, Chisholm Jr. and Goldschmidt on the right. JC Escarra gets the start behind the plate.
Ernie Clement hitting in the 2 spot tonight. Still hitting over 300, 304 on the season, and as we mentioned, hit a home run off Weathers May the 18th back in the Bronx. An 0-2 changeup that was about ankle high, an Ernie special.
How did he get to that?
Ernie doing Ernie things. Chopper weakly hit up the third baseline. They will not have a chance. It'll be an infield hit for Clement.
And there is said sinker that we were talking about. He will get some ground balls with that pitch, and sure enough, Ernie tops that ball right into the ground, but he couldn't have rolled it out there any better.
One on, one out here in the bottom of the first, and here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Has had a cold homestand so far. 2 for 21, both singles in the first 6 games. Lays off down and away, ball 1. Guerrero went 1 for 3 with a base hit against Weathers back on May the 18th. In there, 1-1.
Weathers does a very good job holding runners on. He's got a couple of pickoffs already this season. He is among the league leaders over the last number of years, so don't plan on going too far and be very careful around that first base bag.
Guerrero lifts it to very shallow left, and way in comes Bellinger to make the catch. 2 down, and that'll bring Alejandro Kirk up to the plate.
Number 30, Alejandro.
Has been a love affair for Kirk from this fan base for years, really. I mean, there's just something about him that the fans just go crazy for. There was an enormous ovation at about 7:04 tonight, and we didn't know what it was, and it was just Kirk popping out of the dugout to go out into left field to start getting loose and start working with Trey Savage. They have missed one of their best players, one of their most indispensable players.
I remember having this discussion in spring training, Dan, and I said if there's one area that they cannot afford an injury, it's to Alejandro Kirk. And sure enough, very early in the season, he hits the injured list. He just brings so much on both sides of the baseball.
3-0, and it gets away from the catcher Escarra, allowing Clement to go to second.
Well, JC Escarra, we have seen him have issues behind the plate receiving pitches, and you can see that glove's on the ground when it should have been already to his left, ready to receive that pitch, totally handcuffing him.
A wild pitch charged to Weathers. Could be a big 90 feet. Base hit could score Clement now. And a strike, 3-1. Kirk rather played a handful of games in Dunedin, then the last 3 in Buffalo. DH, catch, DH over the last 3 days. Strike 2 called, and now it's full.
Tricky look from a left-hander. Weathers has that arm slot a lot lower this year too, so from that angle, down and in the way he throws that pitch, probably a funky look there for Kirk. He thought it was inside.
Clement out at second, 2 down, bottom of the first. And the full count pitch is hit to left center field, and it's going to be beyond the reach of Grisham. Clement in to score. It's an RBI double for Alejandro Kirk.
Welcome back, Alejandro. How about this pitch, Dan? It's almost in the exact same spot as the previous pitch that he took. And he hammers this sinker deep to left center, and Grisham just can't get to it.
So how about a successful challenge on the first pitch of the ball game in the top half of the first, and then an RBI double in his first at bat in the bottom of the first, and the Blue Jays lead 1-0. Here's Kaz Okamoto hitting .230, still leading the club in home runs with 13, and now with the hole 0-2.
We talked about what Alejandro brings on both sides of the ball, and we know he's one of the best framers, receivers in the game. That is exactly how Clement got to second base, a ball not handled by the Yankees catcher.
Ooh, that was close, but it is called low, ball 1. 1-2 on Okamoto. Okamoto's done a much better job hitting fastballs than breaking balls this year. And Weathers has had a lot more success, as Joe told you, with the breaking stuff than the fastball. Goes with a fastball. The appeal, no swing. And it's 2-2. Ernie Clement cooling off in the dugout. The Blue Jays with the early lead. Big swing and a foul off by Okamoto. The strength of this Yankee team recently has been its starting pitching. They got some of the best starting pitching in the game, even though Garrett Cole didn't come off the IL until recently, and now Max Fried is on the IL, but Weathers capable. Will Warren having a good year. Cam Schlittler's terrific. There's one high and deep. Down the left field line. Gone! Into the 500 level. Towering shot off the bat of Kazuma Okamoto. And even his teammates can hardly believe what they just saw.
Weathers stayed away from him most of the at-bat, and then he buried a slider down and in, and did he ever clear it out of there. That's a long way from home plate.
And it is 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. One more look at this swing. The only question was, would it stay fair?
We've seen him handle the ball middle in so well, and this slider comes right down and into the barrel, right into his happy zone.
Lucas, it's a bouncer to the left side of the infield. McMahon will make the play to end the inning, but what an inning it is. First, the double by Kirk to drive in one, and then Vladdy says, "Are you serious?" Okamoto into the 500 level. And when anybody, home or away, Blue Jay or visiting player, hits a ball into the 500 level, even Okamoto allowed himself a little smile when he got back into the dugout. Down and in right on the corner, and he just launched it, Joe.
Okamoto gets so loaded up into his swing, and then when you see that stride, he actually strides open a little bit. So he is gearing his path to middle in, and it's a secondary pitch, the slider coming right down middle in.
Vladdy's saying, you must be getting in the gym, you must be eating right, you're doing something right. Joe, he's got 40 RBIs now. I mean, he's hitting .230 and he's striking out a lot, but they have desperately needed the power and the run production that he has provided.
The kids would say that's a sick pop.
Here's Jazz Chisholm Jr., who's going to knock one into right field. A base hit here to lead off the top of the second. Chisholm, a guy who has heated up. As we mentioned, yes, Judge is out, but a number of Yankee hitters who were pretty cold a few weeks ago have gotten hot here in the last few weeks. This is not a team to be taken lightly, even without Judge. They are 5-3 since he went on the IL. They just swept Cleveland in Cleveland. Judge's replacement is Spencer Jones, who was up earlier, was up when the Blue Jays saw the Yankees and really struggled, got sent back down, but then recalled when Judge went on the IL, and he is small sample size, but he is 6 for 12 with a home run, Joe, in 3 games since coming back.
He is filling the shoes of Aaron Judge, almost the same height.
Yeah, both of them about 6'7".
He is a big guy, and a lot of times those big guys have holes in their swings. With Jones, you better make sure you hit one of those holes, whether it's up, whether it's in, whether it's with the secondary pitches, because when he connects, it can go.
He can play all 3 outfield spots. He runs very well. Not he runs very well for a big guy. He runs very well. He could steal bases. It's all about the swing and miss. As he takes up and away, ball 1 from Trey Yesavage. So Yesavage, a great outing against the Yankees back in the Bronx. 6 scoreless, didn't walk a batter, struck out 8. And of course, that incredible outing against the Yankees in the division series last year, game 2 here at the Rogers Center. Got him with a good splitter for out number 1.
Sometimes Trey will get that downward movement. Sometimes it's away. That one runs away from the big lefty.
Strikeouts are brought to you by Subway. Get 25% off any footlong on game days. Order in the Subway app using code STRIKEOUT. 1 on, 1 out. Here's Jose Caballero. Runner going, and no throw from Kirk. Looked like he tried to re-grip it and just never had it. So Chisholm with his 18th stolen base of the season already.
You can see him antsy over there, tries to time him up, but Alejandro just has a little fumble, and when you don't get that exchange, you shut it down.
One 1-0 on Caballero, getting the start at shortstop. He's been filling in a little bit in the outfield since Judge went on to the IL. He was their everyday shortstop for about the first 6 weeks. Anthony Volpe was on the IL, then on injury rehab after shoulder surgery, and now they're both playing short. Chisholm out at second, talking to Clement. Caballero playing short and right. Volpe has had recently a rough few days, but still getting some playing time. Up high, and it's 3-0.
He's behind 3-0, but you just got to keep an eye on Chisholm. Clement doing what he can at second base, because he will certainly run. But now it's up to Trey to get back in the count.
And he can't do it. That's the second walk that he has given up already tonight. We've seen some games, Joe, where the command has been outstanding. Well, the first game against the Yankees, he didn't walk anybody. As you mentioned, the 7-walk game against the Orioles, even though he only gave up 1 run, 2 walks already here tonight.
And I think when he has his issues, he'll scatter that 4-seam fastball arm side away. Those will be his misses. We've seen him have issues with the splitter, spiking it into the ground, trying to find that happy medium when he's missing up there.
Down and away, ball 1 to Ryan McMahon, the third baseman. And Alejandro Kirk out from behind the plate just in case the Yankees get running here, and as we've seen, they will run. That stolen base for Chisholm, the 68th by the Yankees this season. They are 4th in the major leagues in stolen bases, and now Kirk wants to find out if everything's going okay for Yesavage out there.
Both of those runners run well, but sometimes what you'll do is you'll throw in behind his second base if they try a double steal, because the runner on second base gets such a huge lead. So you maybe try to get Caballero if Vladdy can do what he can over at first to keep him somewhat close, because he's not holding him on.
Yankees an off day here in Toronto after they finished up Wednesday in Cleveland. Again, they've won 4 in a row. And it's 2-0 on McMahon. That's high, ball 3, and Savage having trouble getting back in the strike zone.
It is the bottom of the order, but McMahon has been swinging the bat much better lately as well.
Outside, the 3rd walk, and that is going to load the bases. For the number 9 hitter, the catcher, J.C. Escarra. Again, Savage had a game like this against Baltimore, but got 3 big double plays, so he only gave up 1 run in 5 innings, even though he walked 7. But obviously, anytime you walk a bunch of guys, you're playing with fire.
Because of the downward movement on that slider and his splitter, he can get ground balls on those 2 pitches, and he could really use one right now.
There's a strike as he pumps in a fastball. It's 0-1. And the splitter and the slider not necessarily designed to be thrown in the zone, but close enough to the zone to get swings out of the opposing hitters.
Yeah, and those 2 fastballs right there, you could see it looked like he really overemphasized trying to finish, get on top and finish those pitches. A lot of the misses from the fastball have been up and arm side.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. 2 down.
That at-bat looked like Trey Savage had about enough of himself just out of frustration. He just reared back and blew Escarra away. He's got one more big one to get.
He's still got a deal with Trent Grisham, the leadoff hitter. He got him on a ground ball to begin the ball game. And it's 0-1 here. Grisham down to a knee as he comes up empty on a split.
A little surprised to see Grisham swinging a first pitch splitter like that. This is a guy that does not swing the bat a ton. He's very patient. He will wait you out, does not chase, does not swing and miss a whole lot. That's what makes him a tough out when he's right. He's right now.
Chisholm at 3rd, Caballero at 2nd, McMahon at 1st, 2 down. And the 0-1. Bounced in and picked clean there by Kirk. A ball and a strike as Savage fired a fastball into the dirt out in front of the plate. There it is, the chase rate among the lowest in the majors. You've got to come to him. And it's popped up. Clement and Jimenez both there. Jimenez will make the catch, and Trey Savage pitches out of it.
Blue Jays fans are commemorating Team Canada's World Cup opener by sporting tonight's giveaways, Andres Jimenez soccer jerseys. And it's only fitting because long before baseball became Jimenez's career, the beautiful game was actually his first love. I asked Jimenez for a scouting report on how he was as a soccer player. He laughed and said, "I was pretty average. Baseball," he explained, offered a better path to support his family in Venezuela financially, even though soccer was the game he loved most growing up. These days, he enjoys the European leagues, La Liga, the Premier League, and the Bundesliga. His favorite player, Cristiano Ronaldo. Jimenez says he admires Ronaldo's discipline, relentless work ethic, and unwavering confidence. All traits he tries to bring with him every time he steps out onto a baseball field. Guys?
Hazel, thank you. A 1-1 tie for Canada today. with Bosnia and Herzegovina and their World Cup opener just a couple of miles west of where we are. It was on in the clubhouse earlier today.
I think Andres made the right choice.
I think he did. The footwork looked pretty good.
It looked very good.
Here's Miles Straw leading off the bottom of the second. 3-0 Blue Jays. 1-1 on Straw. So he probably would have been in center field anyway tonight with a lefty on the mound. But as you know, Dalton Varsho has gone on the IL. The wrist just didn't respond as much or as quickly as they had hoped. He got a cortisone shot today. So he is on the 10-day IL. It's retroactive a couple of days. An off day yesterday, and he didn't play Wednesday. So all going well, Joe. He only misses, if it's the absolute minimum, it's 8 more days until he's back. And obviously they want to settle that thing down. They're also going to see 4 lefties in those next 8-9 games. Straw hits a 2-hopper out to Chisholm. So those would be games where possibly Varsho isn't in there anyways, but isn't it so much like the 26 Blue Jays? Unfortunately, they get Kirk back, but now they put Varsho on the IL.
Yeah, and if there is good timing, maybe this is it, so he can get that breather, get that wrist right, and come back and be the hitter that we know Dalton can be.
Varsho looking on, and his replacement on the roster right now, Davis Schneider, is back. Schneider takes outside ball 1. He's in left field and figures to get his playing time mainly against lefties. Schneider put up some of the strangest numbers you'll ever see in his 14 games at AAA. He hit just 188, 6 for 32. But he walked 24 times. He had a .550 on base percentage, as you can see. And that's great. We all know he's got a good eye and he can take a walk, but he really wants to get his swing feeling better so he can hopefully stay here and contribute, and he just didn't get that much of an opportunity to swing. He's also got a new stance going right now. We got a challenge from Ascara.
The previous pitch is called the ball. The catcher's challenge.
And it caught the bottom of the zone, so that's a strike. 2-2.
Overturned. New York has 2 remaining.
Davis Schneider is a known tinkerer when it comes to stances, and he calls this one the Juan Soto. Look at that front foot, the way it's turned in. Bouncer to third. McMahon has it, and that got pretty close, but it's held on to by Goldschmidt. Schneider retired, 2 down.
Good example of why when you hit the baseball, get down the line. You just never know if a ball's bobbled, thrown off the mark at first base. Davis tries a lot of things, and he's continuing to search and continuing to find something, because boy, could they ever use that right-handed bat with the pop that we know that he has in there.
Yeah, they have struggled against lefties. Sometimes haven't had a whole lot of options coming off the bench. That hit Jimenez. A sinker at 96. And a sinker from a lefty is going to run in on a lefty, and Jimenez could not get out of the way. Appears to be unharmed.
Just keeps coming in there, try to tuck it in. He didn't tuck it enough.
Good thing for the elbow pad. Looks like it took the brunt of it. A base runner with 2 down. Top of the order, George Springer, who flied out to right to lead off the bottom of the first. Swing and a miss, 0-1. It was 98 from Weathers up at the top of the zone. Former first-round pick by the Padres back in 2018, and made his major league debut in the postseason. Not many guys have done that. Did it with the Padres in 2020. Alejandro Kirk getting reacquainted with the iPad. And Weathers stumbles and goes down to a knee as he releases that pitch. get back up on the rubber. No concern from Aaron Boone or anybody else in the Yankee dugout.
Oh, we've seen how he uses all of his pitches. Four-seam fastball, sinker. He's got both breaking balls, the slider and the sweeper, to go along with that changeup. So a lot of times what pitchers will do to just be a little more unpredictable, but that first inning was not unpredictable to Blue Jays hitters.
2 big hits after 2 are out for the Blue Jays to drive in the 3 runs. Those are the kind of hits they have been missing this year. Those 2-out hits when they've got something going on the bases. Kirk did it with a double, and then Okamoto with the home run. It's just the second time this year, Joe. This is their 70th game. The second time this year they've scored 3 or more runs in the first inning. The other one was in Arizona back in April. They scored 8.
Now Springer lifts one to left field. This is well hit, and it is gone. Springer homered off Weathers a few weeks ago in the Bronx, and he does it again here in Toronto tonight.
I said in his first at-bat, I like some of his swings. He was not getting cheated. He looked strong in the box, took some good hacks, didn't get the result he was looking for when he flied out to right. But he got the result this time.
Number 6 on the season. And it's 5-0.
It's a changeup, and it just stayed up enough and fairly middle. And he was all over it.
Now Clement sends one to right center. It's hanging up for Jones, and that'll be the inning. But again, for the second inning in a row, a 2-out home run for the Blue Jays. This time it is George Springer launching it to left, and they are off to some kind of start here tonight.
Welcome back. There's extra soccer fever in the air tonight in Toronto, and that includes right here at the Rogers Center. The first 15,000 fans through the gates receive this Andres Jimenez replica soccer jersey, a fun giveaway to celebrate a player who looks just as comfortable in a soccer jersey as he does in a baseball one. The soccer fun doesn't stop there. The fans can check out the soccer zone here at the ballpark and try their hand at some dribbling and shooting skills like I did a bit earlier. This night is turning out to be a perfect combination of the beautiful game and Blue Jays baseball. Dan, I feel like I should probably stick to hockey. I don't think soccer is really my thing.
Stick to what you know, but everybody having fun tonight. I bet you there are a lot of people who went to the soccer game today and then
doubleheader,
traffic permitting, made it here tonight. Actually, the traffic was a pleasant surprise today. I expected the worst, and it was not the worst.
You were very calm when you arrived. It was all good.
I left early. I wore my patient pants. I took deep breaths.
Talked your way through it.
That's right. It was all good. Little up and in, a 1-1 on Ben Rice, who walked in the first.
Well, downtown was bumping. That is for certain.
Yep.
A lot of fun.
Swing and a miss. Boy, Rice went after one up and in, and it is 1-2.
Interesting that he's staying hard this at bat.
Infield really playing him to pull. As Savage spikes a splitter into the dirt, 2-2. Max Scherzer, John Schneider was asked after his last start, will he get another? And John Schneider said yes. He said, I don't want to evaluate him too quickly. Don't want to have a knee-jerk reaction to a guy one start coming off the IL. So it looks like Max would start the second game, I believe, in Boston on Wednesday. Here's a one-hopper. That's a fair ball. Savage has to get over, and he's there in time.
Hit a grand slam with your next project and head to your local Home Hardware. With over 1,000 locations across Canada, Home Hardware is locally owned, genuinely Canadian.
What a night here at Rogers Center. Warm weather, and the Blue Jays off to a great start. So again, Scherzer is lined up to start the second game at Fenway. On a Wednesday, Dylan Cease to start the first one. Gausman, Corbin the next 2 days here against the Yankees. Shane Bieber made a rehab start in Buffalo last night. 5 innings, did not give up a run, threw 62 pitches. He was almost too efficient. They had agreed on 5 innings before the game, but he got through them pretty quickly. So actually didn't get the pitch count, Joe, up quite where they wanted, and John Schneider said Bieber is going to make one more at Buffalo. But if that one goes well, he's coming back after that.
Yeah, I think we may see him in 10 days.
And then they'll have to figure it out in the rotation, obviously, just like they've had to figure out a lot of things. That is at the knees. 95 and in there, 1-2.
Well, that's good when he can dot the bottom of the zone with that four-seam fastball. That does not allow hitters to just lay off the ball down thinking it's one of the secondary pitches.
Line softly out to second. Clement there, 2 down. Well, we'll see how it goes, but maybe the Yankees coming to town makes the Blue Jays feel pretty good about things. In this ballpark last year, the Blue Jays won 6 out of 7 from the Yankees during the regular season, and then won both games here in the division series. Last year, they went 8-1 against the Yankees in this ballpark and scored 75 runs in those 9 games. You remember the Canada Day series, the big home run by Springer, and they scored a ton of runs in the DS. Nothing is guaranteed, no carryover necessarily. Here's Bellinger popping one up. Jimenez is there, and that is much more like it. Trey Savage will tell you. 3 up and 3 down in the top of the 3rd. Always great when the roof is open, always great when the weather is nice, and always great when we can enhance the view for you with this bird's eye view provided by WestJet, the official airline of the Toronto Blue Jays. This drone will be with us all weekend. And how about that shot?
Great shot, beautiful night, beautiful ballpark. Where would you rather be?
A packed house here, all 3 games will be very well attended this weekend with the Yankees in town. The Blue Jays 9 games back of them right now. The Yankees at a virtual tie for the top spot of the division with Tampa Bay. The Blue Jays 9 games back, 3 under the 500 mark. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leads it off in the 3rd. Hit a fly ball to shallow left in the 1st. After Guerrero, it'll be Kirk and Okamoto, who have both already had big hits in this game. Tops it towards 3rd. And McMahon will throw him out. A changeup on the outer half that he bounces up the pull side, and he's now 0 for 2.
And this is what Weathers will try to do, speed you up with a couple of different fastballs and come back and get you up front on the changeup.
So another big ovation for Kirk, who had an RBI double just beyond the reach of Trent Grisham out in deep left center in the 1st inning. That cashed in the first run of the night for the Blue Jays. So we talked a little bit about playing time, and John Schneider was asked, what about the possibility of either Valenzuela or Kirk DHing every now and again to get both bats into the lineup? And it sounds like it's a possibility. It's not like every time one catches the other will DH, but it sounds like it may happen now and again. You know, say there's a lefty on the mound and you want to get every possible right-handed bat in there. Valenzuela's a switch hitter, you can put him in. Or if Valenzuela's catching but you want Kirk's bat in there as the DH, you can do that. You always run a little bit of a risk If one of them gets dinged up, you lose your DH, that sort of thing. But I don't think that is too big of a concern for John Schneider. And another guy who could play into it is George Springer. It may be connected. The question was asked about Springer maybe playing a little bit in the outfield, just every now and again. And John Schneider tells us George Springer has been doing some work behind the scenes to ready himself for that. He has not appeared in the outfield all year. And one scenario again is, well, if you put George in the outfield, it's ripped into left by Kirk. A big turn, but he will get back to first with a long single. But good contact, Joe, for the second at bat in a row.
This is the Alejandro Kirk the Blue Jays were hoping to get back, and this is the guy that they missed so dearly. It's the quality of the at-bat, the quality of the contact. He's thinking 2 out of the box, but as I said in the first inning, you've got one of the best outfielders in the game in Cody Bellinger, and left with a good arm. Made the right decision.
A 1-out single, and here's Okamoto, who hit a 2-run home run into the 500 level in the first inning. So back to Springer just for a moment. Imagine a scenario, a lefty on the mound, and they want to get every right-handed bat they can into the lineup. That requires one of the catchers to DH. That requires Springer to be in the outfield. So maybe every now and again he'll get a start out there. Grounded to the left side, scooped up by McMahon to second, one to first. That's not in time. Okamoto across on a fielder's choice.
Well, the Yankees defense a little slow going on this play. McMahon did not get the great exchange, and it's been a bit of a struggle for the third baseman. That's the difference right there that allows Okamoto to beat it out.
So the inning continues for Nathan Lucas, who hit a ground ball to third in his first at bat. What's your thoughts on the second catcher DHing every now and again, Springer maybe being in the outfield every now and again?
Yeah, if George is hitting home runs like that, I'm all for figuring out a place to play. And I kind of mean that, though, right?
Yeah.
If he can turn this thing around offensively, of course you want that right-handed bat, especially with the left-hander on the mound, because you get rid of one of your left-handed bats, whether it's Piñon or Sanchez. So that makes all the sense in the world. I don't think it's a huge deal having a catcher behind the plate and the other one DHing. Sure, you're running the risk. Worst case is if it happens midway through the game or later, you just lose your DH.
Right.
And then you pinch hit for the pitcher spot, whatever the case may be. So you live with it. Alejandro, remember when he was his Silver Slugger year, he DH'd a lot also. Yep. And I just think with Valenzuela, the start that he's off to in his young career here, you kind of want to ride that while it's hot.
It might be a bit of a more remote possibility, but Valenzuela has played some first in his career in the minors, and he's taken some ground balls here. And if, say, Guerrero ever needed a DH day, maybe they could put Valenzuela at first. I don't think they're there yet, but wouldn't be shocking to see him taking more ground balls at first. If he's here, you want to use him as much as you can in good spots. Swing and a miss by Lucas. No runs, a base hit, and a man left through 3 on a Friday night with the Blue Jays up 5-0.
Welcome back to the Rogers Center, where we're making it a Friday with McCain. Spud has been going across the concourse all night long, meeting fans, taking pictures, and even handing out coupons for free fries. The fun continues all weekend long with specialty loaded fries celebrating 50 seasons of Blue Jays history. This weekend special is the Holiday Heat. That's Nashville hot chicken, crispy tater tots, blue cheese, and hot honey. It sounds delicious, doesn't it, Spud? Make it a Friday with McCain and get one tonight.
And thank you. We appreciate it. On to the 4th inning. A 1-2-3 third for Trey Savage after walking a total of 3 batters in the first 2 innings. So that got him off the mound quicker, got that pitch count straightened out a little bit. And he's only at 40 through 3 despite walking 3 guys.
And again, that command, corral that 4-seam fastball, get it in the zone a little bit more, and then everything plays in. When he starts spraying that, that's when he gets the trouble.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. swings at the first pitch. Davis Schneider going back, pulling up, making the catch.
for out number 1.
And again, good finish by Savage there. You can almost see that because of his arm angle being so high, you almost see that conscious effort to really finish toward the catcher. When he doesn't quite do it, that's when you get those arm side misses that scatter.
That's 6 in a row now set down by Savage, and here's Spencer Jones, who struck out in the second. Challenge coming.
Pitch is called a strike. Batter's challenge.
And it is outside, so that's the second successful challenge.
New York has 2 remaining.
For the Yankees already. They have both of theirs remaining. The Blue Jays had a successful one from Kirk on the first pitch of the ball game, so they have both of theirs remaining as well. We talked about his stance, I think, Joe, a little bit in New York, and whatever works for each individual person, obviously, but kind of a deep crouch for a very big guy, and then watch the right leg and the right foot, the turn there, and then that kind of readjusts as the ball is coming in. There's a lot going on there.
It's almost a bit of an Ohtani look. It reminds you of that front foot the way it does, but it's one thing to be in your legs, but he takes it to another level. The only thing you have to caution or be ready for here is you get in your legs too much, your first move is to come up out of them.
And a 1-out walk.
Discover the magic of BetMGM Casino. Check out a wide variety of table games with a live dealer, roulette, blackjack, and more. Download the BetMGM Ontario app. Please gamble responsibly.
Back here at Rogers Center to open up this 3-game series between the Blue Jays and Yankees, who split 4 games in the Bronx 3 weeks ago. That was a really interesting series. The first 3 games were all decided by just 1 run, and then the last game by 2. The Yankees won the first 2 games, and if you remember, Joe, the Blue Jays got the tying and the go-ahead run on base in the 9th inning in both games. Couldn't come up with that big hit, so the Yankees won the first 2. And the Blue Jays came back to win the next 2. Shallow center, in comes Straw. Caballero retired, 2 down. So when Savage is getting guys, he's getting them early in the count. It's either a walk or a very quick out, it seems.
He missed with that first pitch slider, and you could see Alejandro Kirk look out to him and say, hey, stay here, stay in the middle of the plate. What did he come back with? 4-seam fastball in the zone, quick out.
You know what's weird about his 4 walks tonight? They've all been 4-pitch walks.
Just not close, yeah.
No middle ground so far in terms of command here for Savage, but he has held the Yankees off the scoreboard so far. Ryan McMahon walked in the second. Swings through a fastball, 1-1.
And that's what I'm referring to there. So keep that thing in the zone. You get the swing. And now the hitters get into that mode of, okay, the 4-seam fastball's in the zone. And then that's when you drop that slider or splitter. Pete Walker has that great angle from the dugout to just dissect his pitcher's deliveries.
Line drive to center. Straw's there, and that is the 3rd out here in the top of the 4th. The Hurricanes are just 1 win away from the Stanley Cup. And now the series will shift back to Vegas. The Golden Knights trying to stay alive on a home ice. Don't miss Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final Sunday at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Sportsnet. It's 5-0 Blue Jays. Home runs by Okamoto and Springer, an RBI double by Kirk. 4 scoreless from Savage. And it's the bottom third of the order. Straw, Schneider, and Jimenez here in the bottom of the 4th against Ryan Weathers. And the big sweeper Drops in for a strike.
You see what he likes to do with his breaking balls. He'll start them really far out there. They may come over, catch the outer half, maybe the middle. It's not like he's burying them, downing in on the righty, so they can look out over. Change up out there as well. He is throwing a lot of fastballs, both the four-seamer and the sinker. So Blue Jays hitter, you can look out over there if that's your comfort zone. I think a guy like George, he wants the ball more middle in. Okamoto, same way. So it depends on who you are based on your swing, what you're looking for.
So there's a sweeper that starts out looking like it'll be a strike, and at the end of it, Miles Straw moves his right foot out of the way because he thought it might hit him in the foot.
Lots of break. Secondary pitches have been very good to him this season, including that sweeper.
Catches the inside corner. Straw not convinced, but it's a strike 2-2, and it did look like it had it.
Again, that angle coming in, you just may not be picking it up right. If Miles dismay, there's because he thinks it's a ball.
And then a good changeup to get Straw swinging. He's got good stuff. He's got a good mix. You can see how he can be a successful pitcher, but he's had real trouble with the home run ball this year.
Hadn't had a strikeout until getting Lucas to end that third inning, and now he's got back-to-back.
And again, a first pitch sweeper in for a strike, this time to Davis Schneider, who grounded out to third. Schneider was in Buffalo, got news last night he was going to be coming back to Toronto. 0-2.
And he knows that's where he'll get attacked. I talked to him about that today. He feels like he's doing a better job of getting to those pitches up. He's got to stay off the stuff away. It's just not his strength.
Too high there, ball one. Lifts a high fly ball to medium depth right center, and it'll be Grisham for the second out.
That's the problem with that pitch at the top of the zone. You can keep working. And as soon as you get feeling better with it or decent with it, you expand just up and out. And that's the difference in that pop up to the outfield and maybe squaring something up.
So Schneider 0 for 2. And here is Jimenez, who was hit by a pitch in the second and then scored on the home run from Springer. Sometimes we have seen John Schneider sit Jimenez against a lefty, move Clement to short, and put a guy like McAdoo or maybe Schneider earlier in the year at second. Weather's a guy with some reverse splits, meaning lefties have hit him better than righties this year, and the same last year. And of course, you've got your strongest defense on the field if Jimenez is at short and Clement's at second. And another ball in the air. This is also playable for Grisham. And it's a 1-2-3, bottom of the fourth.
Welcome back. Targets are super important for Trey Savage and that unique delivery of his. That's according to Drew Butera. The way his pitches play off each other, it could be a different target on any given night. So he explained, if the ball is riding a little bit more, it's a lower target. If he's pulling the ball, it's about staying on the plate those nights. Saying with Savage, it's getting him in the zone for strike one and then just allowing Savage's mechanics and his ball flight to do the rest. So targets really important when the rookie right-hander is on the mound. Guys?
Hazel, thank you. So that's something Pete Walker, Drew Butera, whoever the catcher is that night, in this case Kirk Savage, would go over. So Hazel telling the story where it not only is different pitcher to pitcher, it can be different for a specific pitcher inning to inning or start to start.
Yeah, and that's why when I described earlier, he threw a first pitch slider, missed off the plate away to a right-handed batter, and you could see Kirk saying, hey, like stay right here, right in the middle. In other words, you're not trying to go away to that pitch, throw it middle and let the action of the pitch work. So there's that constant communication and subtle communication oftentimes between the pitcher and the catcher.
J.C. Escarra, the catcher tonight for the Yankees, 0 for 1. The other catcher the Blue Jays saw when they were in New York, Austin Wells, is on the IL right now with persistent headaches. He has gone through concussion testing. All of that has come back negative, but he is sidelined right now. And former Blue Jay Ali Sanchez is the other catcher for the Yankees at the moment. There's a liner into left center field. Straw giving chase, but he'll have to play it off the wall on a bounce. And Escarra into second with a double. The Yankees have been getting virtually no offense at all from Wells or Escarra, or in a limited sample size, Ali Sanchez. So they will take that hit right there.
Aaron Boone was asked about that today, and with Wells out, I mean, he's the one with the track record. Escarra, you've got what you've got, and you know he hasn't had tons of opportunity and experience just yet. But to be losing Wells to the injured list after some of the things he has done, he's hit 21 home runs last season.
A leadoff double here in the 5th inning, and now the top of the order, Trent Grisham, 0 for 2. There was some talk in John Schneider's office before the game about, well, could Tyler Heineman wind up being, you know, he could be claimed by anybody, but the question posed to Schneider was, with everything that a catcher knows about your game planning and your pitch calling and your signals and your everything that you do, this one will go foul. You know, if you're going to lose a catcher, you'd rather lose him to a team in the other league, certainly, than a team in your own division. And Schneider was grateful for the fact that the waiver process takes a few days, so that even if Heineman were to be claimed, like, it's not like Tyler Heineman could be catching for the Yankees tomorrow. And I don't think Schneider and they're playing the Red Sox next. Like, you don't want those teams to get Heineman, and again, they're hoping he stays in the organization. But catchers have all the secrets. They know everything.
Heineman could be a Blue Jay again,
yes,
or he could be behind enemy lines. You gotta watch.
It's something. It'll all unfold over the next 5 to 7 days.
He did have a little smirk when he was describing all that, but there is a lot of truth to it.
I think the way the question was posed to Schneider was, is it scary who might wind up claiming Tyler Heineman? And Schneider laughed and said yes. He said, I wish, you know, you could remove the SIM card. Yeah. Right? He said, can we take the SIM card out of catchers who leave the organization, because they know everything.
Told him to delete the hard drive.
Right.
And I think a lot of teams have tendencies, and they could be tendencies across a pitching staff. Yes, every pitcher is his own individual, but it could be that what they like to do with 2 strikes, what they like to do with lefties when they fall behind, there can be tendencies like that that can be brought over to your new team, and you don't want your opponent knowing any of your secrets.
A full count here on Grisham. With Ben Rice on deck, a runner at second, nobody out. The Blue Jays up 5-0, but the Yankees with more traffic here. Shot down to first, and a nice play made by Guerrero for the out. Escarra will come to third, but that's a good play by Vladdy.
It's a nice job by Grisham hitting the ball hard to the right side, but Vladdy took extra bases away from the Yankees center fielder. Make sure you secure the out. And now it looks like the Blue Jays will bring the corners in only. Okamoto and maybe Vladdy backing up a bit now, but they'll stay back in the middle. 5-run lead, you can concede a run in this situation.
Right. If it's later or you're up a run, then you play it differently, but you want to stay out of the big inning. Ben Rice looks at a fastball for a strike.
And Grisham certainly not giving himself up to move a runner there. He's trying to hit a double down the line. Vladdy just took it away from him.
A walk and a ground out for Rice. Just low. And a block by Kirk on ball 2.
Just an absolute wall back there. We talk about his framing abilities and receiving pitches. Alejandro also one of the best in the game at doing that right there. Down on the one knee, just squares it up. Drops right in front of him. The splitter, for the most part, will be straight in front of you.
And for the second start in a row against the Yankees, Savage really hasn't had the good splitter. It was more fastball slider in the first game in New York, and it's really more fastball here tonight. He's not getting a lot of chase on that splitter here tonight, but he is getting by so far. That's high, and that is the 5th walk that he has given up.
The old adage is you don't want to play with fire too much against a lineup like these Yankees. Now he'll take this matchup right on right against Goldschmidt, but the last thing you want to do is be putting runners on.
Goldschmidt 0 for 2. So just to give you some context on the splitter, Savage has thrown 16 of them out of 66 pitches. That's not a very high total for him. He's gotten 6 swings and 1 swing and a miss. And anybody who's watching and knows Savage knows on a good night he can get a lot of swings and misses on that splitter. But he's having to improvise a little bit here tonight. On the corner, another slider, and it's 0-2.
Pitch is called strike, batter's challenge.
And another challenge, this time from Goldschmidt. And that'll stay a strike.
That call is confirmed. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
And that could just be that funky look to his slider. Really different, unique rotation that hitters around the league, even this guy, Paul Goldschmidt, in his 16th big league season, hasn't seen that a lot.
Doesn't quite play every day. He's been annihilating left-handed pitching this year and holding his own against right-handed pitching, having a very good year overall. OPS is up in the high 800s. Fly ball very high in the air to right center field. It is playable. Lucas on the track. In to score Escara. It's a sac fly for Goldschmidt, and the Yankees have their first run of the night.
That's a good hitter knowing how to cash in a run. He gets the fastball down in the zone that he can elevate deep enough to easily cash in the Yankees' first run.
And if you're Savage, given the way the inning had started, you're fine with that if you can get Bellinger and finish it here. Keep them to 1. Bellinger a fly ball to right and a pop up to the shortstop. And now a ball down the right field line, and it's off the top of the wall and back in play. That is a live ball, and it will be an RBI double for Bellinger, but is it being called a home run? It is. Now the umpires are making the signal that it was a home run. It must have bounced above the blue padded fence. And undoubtedly we'll have a crew chief review here just to make sure.
It looked like Ramon De Jesus first put his hand up, and then the second base umpire did as well.
The previous play is under further review. The call in the field was a home run. This will be a crew chief review.
John Tumpane, the crew chief, with the information. Bellinger hit stopped at second. Lucas played it once it bounced in towards him, but did it hit something above the blue padded line?
Looks like it got the railing, didn't it?
That grate or that fence up above the blue line.
After further review, the call in the field is confirmed. It was a home run.
So Bellinger got just enough. And it's a 3-run inning here for the Yankees to make it 5-3.
Well, it was a first pitch splitter. You've been talking about the splitter, Dan, and he left it up and out over the plate.
Yeah, did look like it was
bottom
above.
of that railing. Yep.
Yeah, maybe a foot. 0-2 on Jazz Chisholm Jr.
But this is what this lineup can do, and that's what I meant referring to playing with fire. 5 walks for Savage tonight. That's tough to pitch around, and Bellinger made him pay for the walk to Rice.
And before this inning, Savage had never given up a run to the Yankees. 5 1/3 hitless innings, no runs allowed in Game 2 of the Division Series last year. 6 scoreless innings in the Bronx a few weeks ago, and 4 scoreless innings to begin tonight's game, but 3 here in the 5th. Strike 3 called, and now Chisholm wants to challenge.
The previous pitch was called a strike. The batter's challenge.
And it's outside.
Call's
By
overturned. New York still has 1 challenge remaining.
less than 1/10 of an inch.
A credit card. Wow.
Had that been a strike, inning over, and they would have been out of challenges. So it is 2-2. Yankees have been aggressive tonight. They have challenged 4 pitches already. Now it's over. But the Yankees get 3, and it's a 2-run game going to the bottom of the 5th as we get an update with Jamie Campbell. It's Canada's winning inning. This inning, when the Blue Jays get a hit, you could win big with Rogers beyond the scene. Well, the Yankees are very good at a few things. One of them is taking walks. One of them is hitting home runs, and they did both in that inning. And it's now 5-3. Going to the bottom of the 5th, top of the order for the Blue Jays, Springer, Clement, and Guerrero. Springer flied out in the 1st and hit a 2-run home run in the 2nd. Corner, 1-2.
I think they're going to want to continue to try to work George away. It's like they're coming in with the heater. Up.
Middle up and fouled back. It remains 1-2. Blue Jays will see Cam Schlittler tomorrow. He's having an outstanding year for the Yankees. Got a 1.87 ERA. Kevin Gausman on the mound for the Blue Jays. Will Warren, Patrick Corbin on Sunday. Tapped foul. Up and away. That sweeper didn't sweep as much as some of the others have. And now the Yankee bullpen has gotten busy for the first time. Right-hander Jake Bird. A lot of right-handed bats in the lineup for the Blue Jays with a lefty starter on the mound for the Yankees. Outside again. You always love getting into that bullpen as early as you can in the first game of a series to make things a little bit trickier for the opposing manager later on in the series. Maybe some guys aren't able to pitch, say in the 3rd game of the series. Ball 4 just inside.
Get ready for epic action on the big screen this summer with Supergirl, starring Millie Alcock and Jason Momoa, in theaters June 26th.
What a night here in downtown Toronto. It's 5-3 Blue Jays, bottom 5, first game of 3 between these East Division rivals. And Matt Blake, the pitching coach for the Yankees, on the mound to give some thoughts to Weathers with the bullpen busy. John Tumpane says, okay, let's go.
That's enough.
Wrap it up. You know, the game started 30 minutes later than normal. World Cup and all.
It's already going to be a little bit of a later bite to eat after the game.
Ernie Clement had an infield hit and scored a run in the first, flied out to right in the second. Bounced in, blocked by Escara.
One thing, Escara does a pretty nice job of is blocking the ball behind the plate, as we see so often from Alejandro Kirk. Keeps that right in front of him to keep Springer at first base.
Taken by Clement. It's 2-0. Blue Jays would love to have some kind of an answer back after the Yankees just put 3 on the board in the top half of the inning. Dribbled out in front of the plate. Escara's only play is to first. Clement retired. Springer to second. That's the first out, and that'll bring up Guerrero, who is 0 for 2. A fly ball to shallow left and a ground ball to third. Those are two talkative guys on the field. Not surprising that they are having some laughs, and Aaron Boone's going to make a change here. That'll be it for Weathers. He'll bring in the right-hander Jake Bird to face Guerrero. Right now, you can get 50% off City TV Plus for 3 months. Stream hit series like Below Deck Med, Welcome to Wrexham, and Battle on the Beach. Visit citytvplus.ca to subscribe today. New pitcher on for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 5th. It's Jake Bird.
Tough start to the season for Bird, but he's been much better since coming back up April 22nd. He's been scoreless in 12 of his 16 appearances, but Aaron Boone is going to ask him to try to get out of a bit of a pickle here and keep this 2-run ball game.
Runner at second, 1 out. Guerrero the batter. And that's a fair ball down the line and all the way into the corner. And Springer's going to come home. It'll be an RBI double for Guerrero. And it is 6-3. That's got to feel good for a guy who has been struggling to come up with a hit like that.
Well, it's an extra base hit, and it cashes in an additional run. It almost looked like he's going up thinking first pitch sinker from the new reliever coming in out of the bullpen. Runs in on him, but he's able to get the barrel out there and tuck it inside that third base bag.
Here's Alejandro Kirk, and what a night Kirk is having. Had an RBI double in the first, and then a base hit, another hard hit ball in the third. As he'll take one high for ball 1. Again, this is just the 6th game this season for Kirk. And he's got another hit. And Guerrero is getting the wave. And it is 7-3. Alejandro Kirk.
And this is what he does so well. He uses the whole field. He really is a calm presence in the batter's box. Inside outing that ball into right center field to cash in yet another run.
Here's Okamoto, who electrified the crowd in the first inning with a home run into the 500 level down the left field line. The 23rd time in the history of this ballpark somebody has hit a home run into the 500 level. So you're talking about what? This is the 38th year of this ballpark. It's only been done 23 times, 12 of them by Blue Jays. The last Blue Jay to hit a home run into the 500 level was Josh Donaldson back in 2017. That's where it went, right in there.
We'll call that Josh Donaldson territory.
Yeah.
Now it's Oka territory.
The other Blue Jays to have done it, and some have done it more than once, Edwin Encarnacion, Vernon Wells, Josh Phelps did it a couple of times, Raul Mondesi, Sean Green, Jose Canseco, Carlos Delgado, and Joe Carter.
Big challenge for Okamoto right there, able to lay off those breaking balls away. That's something that is probably the most new thing to him in playing Major League Baseball as opposed to in Japan. So many breaking balls going away from you, more east-west pitching than in Japan's a lot more north-south with the fastballs, the splitters, the fork balls.
It's something you don't think about until you put it into those terms. It's just a different game in many respects.
Very different. I am sure he has seen some sliders and sweepers this year that he's never seen before.
If they're on the inner half, he can do a lot of damage, but when they're away from him, those are the ones he struggles.
Yeah, well, especially the home run was from a left-handed pitcher. It's coming in, but you watch his stride foot, the way he's set up. He strides open, so he's already flying open. So anything middle in, he's ready.
A bouncer to third, could be two. It's not. For the second time, Okamoto hits a ground ball to third, and for the second time the Yankees do not turn the double play.
Well, good hustle down the line, but this is a good example of it. Watch that stride foot, how he opens up. Now that slider's going away from him. You're pulling off, and now what you're doing is playing catch up, coming around the baseball. That's been the tough thing for him this season, but good job getting down the line, and yet again beating this ball out at first base. McMahon thought he had a routine double play.
Yeah. Here's Nathan Lucas facing a righty for the first time tonight. Okamoto with first, two down. Lucas 0 for 2.
I don't have Okamoto as a flyer, but he doesn't run as bad as you think. A little below average, but it's not like he's slow as molasses out there. You checking on me, are you?
I am.
I knew you would.
What his sprint speed is, according to StatCast. I don't have the sprint speed of molasses, so I can't compare it. But
that would be very blue in color.
He's pretty blue. He's 24th percentile. So there are slower, obviously. He's 24th percentile. But
that's what I meant.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not the slowest. Doesn't it look like he gets down the line okay?
He gets down the line okay.
You're saying the numbers don't lie, though.
He's not a burner. He's not taking a base here.
You know what else he does, though? He hits bombs.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't have to run fast when he does that.
I can't remember many times like where we've had him trying to score from second on a single or first on a double. I just don't think we've had those situations very often to kind of judge him in that.
Or even how about tonight, though? Like, have you seen him run out and beat out a double play ball, let alone twice in one game?
Not that I can remember.
Yeah, maybe that's what alerted me. Maybe he's getting faster. Maybe you need to update your refresh button.
Right. By tomorrow morning, we'll have new numbers. I mean, he's on pace for a 30 homer 90 RBI season.
Sign up for that, right?
They'll take it.
Yeah. Sign up for that for sure.
Lucas is swinging a miss to end the inning. But 2 more runs for the Blue Jays and the 3rd hit of the night already for Alejandro Kirk. What a way to rejoin the team. He is having a huge night here at the Rogers Center.
Z is for Zepbound. A is for asking. To begin the conversation. Is Zepbound the right choice for you? Ask a doctor about Zepbound. Visit Zepbound.ca for savings.
So Trey Savage, who has not gotten a lot of run support this year from his teammates, is getting plenty here tonight. It is 7-3 going to the 6th inning. The Yankees got 3 off Savage in the 5th. The capper, the 2-run home run by Bellinger. Savage at 74 pitches as he begins the 6th inning. And he's facing the 6, 7, 8 hitters right here. I think if they could get him through a scoreless 6th here, they would be very happy. An off day yesterday, bullpen's fresh. Little in, 1-1. Jones tonight, a strikeout and a walk. And that'll stay just high as well. Another splitter just above the zone. It's 3-1. Ball 4. Pitching decisions presented by Sage, official finance software partner of Major League Baseball, and a guy who figures to be very important in this series, given how many left-handed bats, Joe, the Yankees have, and given that he's the only lefty in the bullpen.
And this decision coming from John Schneider and Pete Walker is to get Fluharty hot, because you've got a couple lefties here at the bottom, not to mention the lefties at the top of the order. You'd love to see Savage get through this inning. Blue Jays with a great response after the 3 spot the Yankees put up in the top of the 5th. They came back with 2 of their own, but they don't want to play with fire much longer. So the lefty will be ready for the Yankees lefties.
The batter, Jose Caballero. That's a fair ball ripped into the left field corner. Jones around second, on his way to third. He'll be held on a double by Caballero.
Looked like a slider that stayed in the middle of the plate. Caballero's out front a little bit, ended up hitting it almost with one hand, but hard past the diving Okamoto.
Pete Walker going to the phone again. So, and here comes John Schneider. This could be it. He has not. So there's the signal right away. So that is going to be all for Savage. 5 innings plus a couple of batters. An up and down night. He pitched out of a lot of trouble. Gave up the 3 in the 5th. We'll see what Fluharty can do here to try to strand these, as the Blue Jays go to the bullpen with a 4-run lead. Fluharty enters the game for the Blue Jays. It is 7-3, but the Yankees have 2 on with nobody out. And again, he is the lone lefty in the Blue Jay bullpen right now. This is a big spot. You don't want the Yankees to be able to grow this into a big inning, and he'll come in and try to minimize the damage.
Fluharty, with his major league leading 37th appearance, pitched on Wednesday against the Phillies, gave up a 2-run homer to their leadoff hitter Kyle Schwarber.
The left-hand hitting Ryan McMahon will stay to face Fluharty, and a sweeper swung on and missed 0-1. McMahon a walk and a line out to center so far in this game. Fluharty pitching Tuesday and Wednesday in that Phillies series before the off day yesterday. And John Schneider is really going to have to pick his spots with him. He's not going to pitch in all 3 games in all likelihood. He'll probably pitch in 2 tonight, and one of the next 2 could be the 3rd one if they don't want to pitch in 4 days out of 5. But that means there will be some big moments in this series where a right-handed Blue Jay reliever is going to have to come in and get out a big left-handed bat. And I'm not talking about Varland closing. I mean 6th inning, 7th inning, that sort of thing. They took a calculated risk in a sense by optioning Mako, but it had to do with he had options and they didn't want to DFA anybody and risk losing them.
And Simeon Woods-Richardson made a very favorable first impression with his outing, but it leaves them, it's going to leave them with some maybe less than ideal matchups at some point in this series.
They have left-handed hitters that hit left-handed pitching.
Right.
McMahon's not necessarily one of them, and I think that's why Schneider loves this matchup.
And he gets McMahon. Look at how far outside Kirk set up to emphasize, Joe, where he wanted that pitch.
And you talked about this earlier. Every pitcher is different, but Kirk is emphasizing it because he wants to make sure if you miss with this pitch, I want you missing off the plate away. Don't miss on the plate. He got it out there just enough.
And did it really late, too. And now Pete Walker to the mound because the Yankees are setting up a pinch hitter. Ahmed Rosario is going to bat for J.C. Escarra. So Aaron Boone's going to burn 2 players here. He'll bring in Ali Sanchez to catch. Rosario, a very capable left-handed bat. Braden Fisher's now up. Boy, these 2 young guys, Fluharty and Fisher, they have both over the last year plus pitched and pitched and pitched and pitched in leverage and become you know, guys who we didn't know it is. And now the home, maybe a pitch-com issue, I don't know. The home plate umpire John Tumpain is out to the mound. Looks like everything is sorted out.
Looks like Alejandro's looking on the ground. Maybe something fell out.
Yeah. Yep. Back up earpiece.
Still looking around for it. It's okay, we got extras.
So here's Rosario. The Blue Jays will concede a run on a ground ball, trying to stay out of a big inning here. And here's a little chopper up the third baseline. Fluharty's got it, and he gets the out. Jones did not come home. He is savage, loves it. Fluharty making a good play for out number 2.
Well, Mason Fluharty has come in and gotten 2 huge outs. The strikeout, nobody moves, and how about this dribbler? Alejandro Kirk is yelling to him, 1-1-1. Number 1, don't worry about the runner. Number 2, he's not coming anyway. He had to put on the brakes. They're just counting outs, and that's another big one right there.
2 down, and here's the leadoff hitter, Trent Grisham, who was 0 for 3. Down and away, it's even at a ball and a strike.
Trent Grisham is another one of those left-handed hitters that handles left-handed pitching. It's not as big a deal to a guy like him, but Mason Fluharty has gotten 2 huge outs here before Grisham.
Just down and away. Good take there by Grisham. Ball 2. It started with a walk and a double, but now Fluharty's gotten a couple of outs. Chase that one, and it's 2-2. That was almost in the identical spot as the last sweeper, but this time Grisham went after it.
Just throw 2 more of them and see if you can't get him to chase. He's not a guy that will do that too often, but this is a different look from Fluharty. Tried to sneak that cutter by him.
So it remains 2-2. And lined into center, a base hit. 1 run is home. Caballero on his way to the plate. He'll score. Throw to second. That's not in time.
And it's a 2-run single for Grisham to make it a 2-run game.
Well, he is all over that pitch. Did not quite get it out as far as he wanted to. You can see the reaction of Kirk. Straub made this play pretty close at the plate, but Kirk does the right thing by coming up and trying to gun him down at second base.
Previous
a little
plays
bit late.
on a further review. Toronto is challenging the safe call at second base.
So the Blue Jays are challenging the safe call at second base, and meanwhile Grisham is getting some medical attention on the field.
Looked like he went into the bag awkwardly with that lead foot. Just the way it turned right there on the base, maybe the left foot.
And did the left foot come off the base while Jimenez still had the tag on him? That's what the Blue Jays are wondering about. The Yankees are more concerned about the well-being of Grisham. Can't see there really because the left leg of Jimenez is blocking that view. He's there. Did he pop off, or was it kind of skidding across the bag? Boy, if it came off, it's for a fraction of a second.
Pretty hard to tell.
After further review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is safe. Toronto loses their challenge.
Blue Jays lose their challenge. And the Yankees look like they have lost Trent Grisham. So Aaron Boone out to give John Tumpane the information. And they're going to need a pinch runner. And it'll be Max Schumann. A useful super utility guy for the Yankees. So those 2 runs get charged to Trey Savage. He'll wind up being tagged with 5 earned runs tonight in 5+ innings. And these 2 teams keep trading punches right now here in the middle innings of this game. Yankees got 3 in the top half of the 5th. Blue Jays answered with 2. But now the Yankees right back with 2. And now they'll bring up the always dangerous Ben Rice representing the tying run. Up and in, ball 1. Couple of walks and a ground out for Rice tonight. Way up in the air to right, but it is playable for Lucas. The Yankees get 2. The Blue Jays take a 7-5 lead at the bottom of the 6th.
Part of the 50th season celebration, a familiar face is back at the ballpark. You've spotted him around the Rogers Center and on your TV. This time, Domer, the beloved Sky Dome mascot, is coming home with you in the form of a Domer hat giveaway. On Wednesday, June 24th, the first 15,000 fans receive a vintage-inspired cap featuring Domer the Turtle. Buy your tickets now at bluejays.com/promotions. I have a hat collection, Dan, and I'm so excited to add this one to it.
Good to hear. I'm sure a lot of people feel exactly the way that you do, Anna. Another beautiful shot. The drone cam provided by WestJet this weekend, looking in on a sellout crowd here at Rogers Center, 41,596. And the Yankees just keep hitting here, getting back into the game. It is 7-5 now for the Blue Jays, going to the bottom of the 6th. And here's Miles Straw, who takes one at the knees for a called strike. Ali Sanchez into the game now to catch for the Yankees. Again, he caught 8 games for the Blue Jays last year. Spencer Jones moves to center, and Max Schumann will remain in the game in right. So the Yankees, either because of pinch hitting or injury,
used 3 of their 4 bench players that inning. They've only got Anthony Volpe left on the bench. Outside, 2 balls and a strike on Straw. Line to right field. Schumann is there. 1 down. And now John Schneider will send up a pinch hitter with a righty on the mound. He's going to have Yohendrick Pinango batting for Davis Schneider. So Schneider in his return to the Blue Jays 0 for 2 now out of the game, and now Aaron Boone is going to make the counter move. He has both a righty and a lefty up in the pen, and obviously it's going to be the lefty coming in here to face Pinango. It will be Brent Hedrick, one of 3 lefties available in that Yankee pen, to face Pinango when we come back. You're watching Rogers Friday Night Blue Jays Baseball, presented by McCain. A sellout crowd here at Rogers Center, and they are seeing some offense. It is 7-5 Blue Jays with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Left-hander Brent Hedrick checks in.
Hedrick is 28 years old, and he is enjoying a fine season with the Yankees as their setup man. The ERA is under 2. Pitching in his 34th game of the season. 4-seam fastball and slider for the most part to these lefties.
And he'll face a couple of lefties. Jimenez is on deck, and Pinango the batter, pinch hitting for Schneider. Pinango 3 for 23, a 130 average against lefties as a big leaguer. Handled it pretty well at AAA this year, but obviously a different caliber of pitching up here in the big leagues. Swing and a miss, 1-2. McMahon, the third baseman, has shifted way over to short. A huge gap there up the third baseline. But Pinango comes up empty. A good breaking ball to get him. 2 down.
There's that slider, left on left, running away from Pinango. And you can see he's not right in there, and he's kind of depicts the struggles he's had against left-handers so far.
2 down, and here's Jimenez, who was hit by a pitch in the 2nd and flied out in the 4th. Line drive, right center field, and it's down. Schumann with a dive, couldn't get it, backed up by Jones. It'll be a 2-out single for Jimenez.
Andres gets to this fastball in the inner part of the plate. Just enough to drop it in the gap between the 2 outfielders. Good effort by Schumann in right, but not near it.
Braden Fisher's up. He will come in to work the top of the 7th in what is now a 2-run game. Here's George Springer, flied out in the 1st, hit a 2-run homer in the 2nd, and then walked and scored in the 5th. Just missed. 2-0. Ball 3. It's Paul Blackburn warming up now in the Yankees bullpen out beyond the right field fence. And that's ball 4, but a challenge.
Previous pitch was called a ball. Catcher's challenge.
Coming from Ali Sanchez. Remember, the Yankees only have 1 left. but this is successful.
Pitch is a strike. New York still has 1 challenge remaining.
Well, the Yankees are 4 for 5 tonight. That's ball 4. So Springer draws the walk eventually and passes the baton to Ernie Clement. Lefty on the mound, a couple of men on. You feel pretty good about Clement being the guy coming to the plate right now.
There are no easy outs, it seems, in this ball game, and both managers are feeling that right now. Back and forth.
I was reading some articles from New York papers online today, and one of them referred to Ernie Clement as noted Yankee killer. And he has done some damage against them. Certainly did in the DS last year. Went 9 for 14 in the division series. Hits this one well to right center, but it's going to be caught by Schumann. And the inning is over. The Blue Jays strand a couple and take a 2-run lead to the 7th.
Vote friendship and send your Blue Jays to the city of brotherly love. Phase 1 voting for the 2026 All-Star Game in Philadelphia is open now through June 25th, and fans can vote up to 5 times per day. Our All-Stars are bringing the power of friendship, and they're ready to put on a show in Philly. Cast your vote today at bluejays.com/vote. Dan?
Anna, thank you. We think that's the guy. Ernie Clement has had as good, if not better, of a season than any other second baseman in the American League. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is undoubtedly going to get a lot of support from Yankee fans, but Ernie has had a very good year and deserves a lot of consideration for the All-Star game. Yohendrick Pinango remains in the game at left after pinch hitting for Davis Schneider. And it is Braden Fisher on the mound to begin the 7th inning. Paul Goldschmidt the batter. And a foul back, 0-1.
Fisher pitched on Wednesday against the Phillies. He did issue a walk and gave up a couple of base hits, and he gave up another run. That's twice in his last 3 outings, so he's trying to lock it back in. This was one of the names John Schneider mentioned when we talked about how you're going to handle some of these Yankees lefties. He's comfortable with Fisher with both of those breaking balls that he has to get these lefties, but this is where the challenge is going to start here. With only the one lefty Fluharty, he's done.
He mentioned Tommy Nance and his curveball. He mentioned Jeff Hoffman and his splitter. Obviously Rogers, Varland, you're comfortable with anybody. Those are your 2 highest leverage guys. Fisher about equal numbers against both righties and lefties this year. He'll face Goldschmidt, then 2 lefties in Bellinger and Chisholm. Slider down and away. Makes Goldschmidt reach for that one, but he does well to foul it off.
Braden came in on Wednesday, and the first batter he faced was Bryce Harper, and he walked him. He ended up coming around to score. And as pitchers, you remember those things, and I'm sure he's focused here on Goldschmidt, saying, I've got to get this first guy this time.
Two and 2 the count. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit.
Goldschmidt has had a couple of good plate appearances tonight. After popping out a couple of times, he had the sacrifice fly in the 5th that got the Yankees on the board, and he stays on this slider just enough to roll it up the middle.
Jimenez was slow to get up, but back on his feet now and seems to be okay. And now here comes Bellinger, who homered his last time up. Curveball for strike 1. ball and a strike. Bellinger just a good all-around player. He's got power, he's got speed, he's an outstanding left fielder, and you can play him in center, right, or at first. He leads all major leaguers in defensive runs saved this year, any position. And he is always dangerous in the box. Skies one to right center. It's playable. It's Straw to make the catch, and that dangerous hitter is retired for the first out.
Well, he got the first pitch curveball down, and I don't doubt he was sitting on it again, and he just missed it. Watch this swing. Oh boy, did Braden Fisher get away with that one, and Bellinger knows it.
Yeah.
He was sitting back on that thing and just unloaded like he knew it was coming.
His extension, his follow through.
It's just a beautiful left-handed swing, but he knows he just missed that baseball.
Now Chisholm 1 for 3. Chisholm asking for timeout. Not sure what this conversation is about with John Tumpane. Something about the clock maybe, or pointing out to Fisher, but
the clock went off by error. Chisholm will not be charged with this timeout.
All right, so Chisholm had a case. The clock expired improperly.
Jazz is like, that's not fair.
Goldschmidt the lead. And he's going to take second as that one got away from Kirk.
He just missed it. Went right off his glove. It was a slider from Fisher. Alejandro just reached out for it and didn't come up with it.
And it is a pass ball charged to Kirk. Something you rarely see. Moves the runner into scoring position. Just high with a curveball, and he's fallen behind 2-0. And a miss down and in for ball 3. Way up high for ball 4, and now the tying run is on base.
Catch every pitch with Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network and best 5G Plus network. Rogers, we got you.
And it's feeling pretty tense in here right now. It is 7-5. The Yankees have 2 men on. Pete Walker's just gone to the phone again. And now Fisher will face Spencer Jones. Struck out his first time up, has walked twice since.
Much better fastball hitter early on here. He does a lot of damage with them. And Fisher's the guy you're going to see a lot of breaking balls between the curveball and the slider.
Takes that curveball down low, and it's a ball and a strike. Tommy Nance now up. Boy, a late swing on that slider. Must not have picked it up, and it's 1-2. He is not trying to flare a ball the other way when he swings. This is a big man with a ton of power trying to do damage on every swing. Challenge from Kirk.
Previous pitch was called a ball. Catcher's challenge.
Taking a while. There it comes. It is low.
That call is confirmed. Toronto has 1 challenge remaining.
So the Blue Jays down to 1 as well, and it's a 2-2 count on Spencer Jones.
It was a great pitch with all the breaking balls that Fisher throws. If he can dot a fastball down there, looked like it just froze the hitter, but just a hair too low.
Swing and a miss. He got him for out number 2.
Well, not the prettiest slider that Brayton Fisher is going to throw, but when it works, you pat him on the back. Kind of an ugly pitch up and in. And he comes up empty with a big swing. Acting more like a little cutter.
So now with 2 down, Fisher to face Jose Caballero. 1 for 2 with a walk. He doubled and scored an inning ago. Curveball for a strike, 0-1. And a foul back, 0-2. Showed him the curve, showed him the slider. Every now and again with 2 strikes, tries to surprise him with a fastball because he throws that fastball so infrequently compared to most. Let's see what he and Kirk are thinking. Got him to reach for a well-placed slider down and away. Good job by Caballero to foul that off.
And when he's on that pitch enough to just foul it off and cover it, it makes you wonder, maybe now you go upstairs with the fastball, change that eye level, and then go back down there. It's a good piece of hitting with 2 strikes. But not for a strike. Got to be up and above the zone.
Again, the 0-2. Fastball, but he got a piece of that as well. Caballero is covering everything right now in this 2-strike count.
Good idea there. Still, I like the heater up there and then to go back. It just changes it up from a hitter. It's a different tracking.
The 0-2 again. That's foul up the third baseline. So when he got to 2 strikes, he went slider, then fastball, then curveball, and Caballero fouled all of them off.
I think he'd like to get that last pitch down and away a little bit more and try to get that chase. Didn't quite get it out there enough. I'm sure Pete's thinking about this sequence right now.
Reaches for it, hits it weakly to short, and he runs too well. They can't get him. He's across on an infield hit, and the bases are loaded.
Jimenez did everything he could, but this ball is going to hit the mound actually and go toward Jimenez. Watch him veer a little bit right there. It's going to take a bit of a left turn, but you're just not getting Caballero on a ball that's hit like this. Fisher made the perfect pitch. That's exactly what I was thinking right there. To get the whiff or to get a weak ground ball. Got it, but it was too weak.
He made a number of good pitches in 2-strike counts, and Caballero, just by refusing to swing and miss, eventually put one in play and got himself an infield hit. And now it'll be Ryan McMahon with the bases loaded and 2 down. A called strike, and it's 0-1. These 2 teams never have ho-hum games, do they?
You said tension. Yeah, it feels a little bit playoffy right now. Back and forth.
Fly ball to center. Backing up Straw. Makes the catch. And Fisher gets out of it.
At lunch, lunch, it's not dinner, it's Looney Dogs Dinner, and Tuesday at the ballpark has never tasted better. Come join us on June 23rd at 4:07 p.m. for a special daytime Looney Dogs Dinner presented by Schneider's. Fans show up hungry every week, so bring your friends and see if you can set the next Looney Dogs record. Get your tickets today at bluejays.com/tickets. Dan?
Anna, thank you. Here's hard-throwing right-hander Camilo Doval. The Blue Jays saw him twice in the series back in the Bronx, and he gave up a run in each outing. Big arm, Joe, but the results just don't always come together like you'd expect them to.
Former closer with San Francisco, saved over 20 games twice, 39 one year, but this year it's been a little bit more of a struggle. 29 games, the ERA just under 5.5. He got off to a bit of a tough start. Better month of May, but he's trying to keep this close for Aaron Boone and the Yankees.
Blue Jays up 2 going bottom 7. It'll be Guerrero, Kirk, and Okamoto. Guerrero 1 for 3, had an RBI double his last time up. Get it started early. Whether it's the sinker or the cutter, it's coming in at 98-99.
Real low arm angle. You can see it's almost slinging it. Sinker, cutter, slider to these righties. And averaging over 98 with that sinker.
Just foul. And that one winds up all the way down in the left field corner. Guerrero narrowly missing his second extra base hit of the night. Let's take a look.
Well, Paul Clemens, the third base umpire, is all over it. Has a great view just to the left of the bag.
Yeah. Not by much, but it was. And again, balls hit in front of the base umpire is not reviewable. Then he can flip that little 89-mile-an-hour slider in there when he's got you thinking about 99.
That's exactly, that's what velocity does. It really gears a hitter up and then makes them very susceptible to the breaking pitches. And that's what's all around the game now. That's why hitting is so tough.
Golfed up into the air to shallow right. And Schumann the catch, one down. So here comes Alejandro Kirk. Apparently has shaken the rust off pretty quickly tonight, Joe.
Well, this bat is something the Blue Jays desperately need to be injected into this lineup. Valenzuela's been doing so well, but Kirk wasting no time in his return. A double, a pair of singles. He's driven in a couple. Now all he's got to do is try to finish this thing off and catch a winner.
He's got as many hits tonight as he had all season coming in. Now, granted, had only played in 5 games, obviously, because of the injury, but he has doubled his season hit total here in this game.
But slow start, right? He's just 3 for 20.
Yeah. By the way, if you're looking for an Addison Barger update, we haven't talked about him yet tonight. John Schneider gave some news. He is throwing out to 120 feet. He is taking BP. And Schneider said all going well, he could start a rehab assignment mid to late next week. That is good news. We had not heard anything concrete like that on Barger. So if he gets into a rehab assignment, say, in a week, then maybe he's back a week after that, if all goes well.
Yeah, that could be good news. I was starting to get a little concerned with the whole elbow thing because we hadn't heard too much in the way of progression.
Shane Bieber progressing. He'll make one more for Buffalo, and if that goes well, then he will be back. 3-1 on Kirk. Oh, and Jimmy Garcia is going to pitch tomorrow night, and John Schneider saying they know he walked a couple of guys and they know the velo was down. There's Jimmy, but Garcia came out of it saying he felt great. Want to keep an eye on the numbers tomorrow in the next one. Check swing, and it's ball 4. So Kirk on base 4 times. If you missed it earlier, you missed
An impressive home run. Kazuma Okamoto visiting the 500 level.
Impressive to say the least. Just a matter of whether it was going to stay fair. It did. And hello, 500 level. A lot of people in awe of that one.
1 for 3 overall, reaching on a fielder's choice each of his last 2 times up. 14 homers, 40 driven in now for Okamoto. A little insurance would be nice here in the bottom of the 7th. This game has gotten close. Tyler Rogers is up for the Blue Jays, getting ready to work the 8th. Called strike 2.
That little slider backed up. That's the one to hit, but you give up on it because it looks like it was going at him. You could see him flinch out of the way there.
And then a much better slider from Duvall to get him 2 down. That is a pitcher's pitch right there.
Toughest pitch in baseball for a right-handed batter. That good sharp slider, and you can see Okamoto opening up. See how the hips just fly right open. Yeah, it's going to be tough to handle stuff away with spinning like that.
That's the 2nd out, and here's Nathan Lucas 0 for 3. Off the glove of a leaping McMahon and into left for a base hit. Kirk up to 2nd, and the inning continues.
Nathan Lucas can get to velocity. He'll slap it around. He smokes this ball just off the glove of McMahon and into left field.
So Lucas has now had at least 1 hit in 15 of 16 games since coming off the IL.
He's really got that line drive stroke, doesn't he?
And now this is interesting. Here's Miles Straw. Sometimes John Schneider leaves Straw in. You want your best defense on the field. You're leading. Sometimes he'll say, you know what, need some more runs. He's got Jesus Sanchez on the bench, assuming Sanchez is okay. But Schneider opting to leave Straw. And a couple of things. That's a foul ball that hit Straw. A couple of things about Straw. 1, he's hit righties better than lefties this year. And 2, he's hit fastballs better than anything else. So there are some numbers that say, you know what, you're good here.
Yeah, I think you really do have to think, I hate to say defensively, but you're thinking defense right now. Of course, Sanchez is probably giving you a better shot at the plate right now. He has been red hot. You get the advantage being left-handed, but I think with what Miles is doing, not just at the plate, but you want that defense, especially with this team that hits the ball in the air a lot.
And we have seen on several, if not many occasions over the last year and a half, Straw up in these kinds of situations, and he finds a way.
Yeah.
But as you say, even if he doesn't, you've got your best defensive outfielder out there patrolling center with at least a 2-run lead. Down and away, and a ball and 2 strikes the count. Remember, Kirk is the lead runner. He is out at 2nd. Lucas is at 1st. Strike 3 called, says John Tumpane. He and Straw having a conversation as the inning comes to an end, and it's time now for a Blue Jays Central update with Jamie and Caleb.
This summer, Sundays are best spent at the ballpark. Bring the whole family out for an afternoon of fun. On Sunday, June 14th, join the Blue Jays for Junior Jays Sundays, presented by Ontario Honda Dealers. Outdoor programming kicks off at 10:30 a.m. with activities, inflatables, mascot meet and greets, and more. Visit bluejays.com/promotions for tickets. Dan?
And a thank you. It's on to the 8th inning here in the opening game of this 3-game weekend series. The Blue Jays still leading. They're up 7-5.
And John Schneider turns it over to Tyler Rogers.
Rogers pitched a scoreless inning Wednesday against the Phillies. Did allow a leadoff double, but had that pretty sweet glove flip play, fielding that ball at the first baseline, flipping to Vladdy, but he has been very good again lately.
A ground ball off the bat of Ali Sanchez backs up Kazukamoto a bit, but he got the hop he was looking for, and he made the play.
That's the thing as a third baseman too. You can move your feet. You might go back to your left, back to your right. You might come into your left, into your right. He's going back to his left to get that hop. Set your feet, make the accurate throw, knowing your base runner. Well done all around.
One pitch and one ground ball out for Tyler Rogers. Here's Max Schumann, who is in Trent Grisham's spot. Remember, Grisham left with an injury earlier, so Schumann is in the leadoff spot. Ben Rice is on deck. Aaron Boone had to use 3 of his 4 players that inning. He's only got Anthony Volpe left.
Rogers allowed 3 runs in 2/3 of inning back on May 25th against the Marlins, but he has gone right back to being Tyler Rogers again.
Kirk thought about challenging, but doesn't, as it misses just low. Each team has 1 ABS challenge remaining.
The master of soft contact.
It's not about the swing and miss, although he'll take it, as Louis Varland is getting loose just in case. It's about, as you say, soft contact and getting ground balls for Tyler Rogers.
A lot about like what we just saw in that first out of the inning, that ground ball to third.
Got the second highest ground ball rate in the major leagues, behind only Tim Hill, a lefty who's sitting out in the Yankees pen. And Hill's a side armor. He's not quite as down there as Rogers is. Hill's a lefty, and he is a side armor, and he gets a lot of ground balls, just like Rogers. Strike 3 called.
Sinking it in there as a right-handed batter. What a crazy location. You're coming from down under. You give up on it thinking it's coming in. It stays right on the edge. What a pitch by Rogers.
And now he's gotten the 2 guys, Joe, hitting in front of Ben Rice. So there's nobody on as Rice comes to the plate. And another ground ball. Clement recovers and makes the play. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 8th.
Time is running out to join in on Jays Cares 50 Seasons Jackpot. The take-home prize is a life-changing, already almost $2 million, and it could be yours Sunday night. Plus, you could still win a trip to see the Blue Jays in New York and get groceries for a year. Don't miss out. Head to bluejays.com/5050 to get your tickets now from participating provinces. Dan?
If you win, Joe, will you be at Fenway Park Tuesday, or will that be the last I ever see you?
Absolutely,
Okay.
Dan. I have a commitment to be there with you.
All right, good. 7-5, the Blue Jays up at the bottom of the 8th. And here is right-hander Fernando Cruz, the 5th pitcher of the night for the Yankees.
He is a good one, an ERA at 184. Tough on left-handers with that split finger pitch. He had a tough start to the season, but he has been absolutely rolling.
This is just outside. Ball 1 to Yohendrick Pinango, getting his 2nd at bat of the night. Came on as a pinch hitter in the 6th. Andres Jimenez and George Springer due up behind him. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Walks can be a bit of an issue for Cruz, but they haven't really caused him any problems lately. Could be because he's able to get out of it with a lot of swing and miss.
There it is right there, 99th percentile whiff rate. Pinango lays off that splitter down, ball 2. Alejandro Kirk in his return, 3 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs driven in. So you got to stay hydrated. Been on base all night long. Fastball and a foul back, 2-2.
Good swing there from Pinango, and when you're reading bats and you're reading that swing, you can bet the house he's going splitter now. He throws that pitch a lot, gets a ton of swing and miss with it, especially after you see that good swing on a fastball.
Left it up, and Pinango pops it up, foul territory, and just out of play. Cruz might have gotten away with one there.
Yeah, that's the one you want to get. See that splitter, it's almost knuckling right now. A whole lot of spin to that ball at all. But his good ones start lower and end up really low. That one.
Nasty. One down.
Make it up Friday with McCain, official French fry of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Good ball game. A lot of tension in this one. The Blue Jays up 7-5, bottom of the 8th inning. And the batter is Andres Jimenez. Jimenez 1 for 2, had a base hit his last time up, has also been hit by a pitch and has scored a run. And that is going to be grabbed out at short. A terrific play made by Caballero to get Jimenez by a step.
What a play by Jose Caballero, moving to his left. He's playing near that second base bag. The ball bounced up off the mound, and he knows he's got to get rid of it. Some shortstops will spin. He stays open, throws against the grain, but still good enough to get him. One step to his right, Goldschmidt at first base.
So 2 down, and back around to the top of the order for George Springer, who hit a 2-run home run back in the second. He's also walked a couple of times and flied out. It'll be Louis Varland in the 9th. The Yankees will send up Paul Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. They're 3, 4, 5 hitters. Just low, and it's 2-0. Okamoto with a big 2-run home run tonight. Springer has homered as well. Trying to muscle up on a fastball there. Miss low, ball 3. There you go. At the knees, a strike, 3-1. Thought about it, but took the splitter in the zone for a strike. 3-2. On the appeal, he didn't go, and Springer walks for the 3rd time tonight. We're back with you tomorrow, and what a great pitching matchup. The Yankees will send Cam Schlittler and his 1.87 ERA to the mound. The Blue Jays will counter with Kevin Gausman. Blue Jays Central gets it started at 2:30 Eastern Time. Ernie Clement 1 for 4. Out of play, 0-1. Is that a rally cap? I don't know what that is.
Now, could you sit an empty cup on somebody's head on that head of hair without him feeling it? Maybe. You know how they put the gum sometimes on the caps?
I hope that's not the case. I hope he knows it's there. They're glad to have him back. I mean, nobody wanted to see Dalton Varsho go on the IL, obviously, but boy, were the guys happy to see Davis Schneider.
Hopefully the minimum stay for Varsho. Down the right field line. Schumann coming over. He's not going to get there. Springer around third. Safe. Will the Yankees challenge? They will not. That's Matt Blake, the pitching coach, on the phone to the bullpen. There's no challenge coming. A fly ball down the line. Schumann kind of got caught in between, it looked like, Joe. Look at the dejection on the face of Clement.
He's more of an infielder. He's played some left field, very little right field, and it looked like it on this ball, the way he went after it, and then allowed it to land in front of him. George just keeps on coming. Carlos Febles gives him the wave. What a huge run for the Blue Jays.
And Springer signaling safe in the aftermath of his slide at the plate. Probably feeling all of 36 about now, but he had enough to get there. And it is 8-5 for Guerrero. Guerrero with an RBI double in the fifth. One hit in 4 at-bats. Swing and a miss at a split 0-2. And blocked by Sanchez.
Well, this is tricky when you do not have a lot of experience in right field. The ball does come off bats differently. You know it's going to slice from a righty, but he just, the way he laid back on that ball, if he just comes toward the baseball initially, I think it's an easy catch, allowing it to drop in, and big insurance run.
Clement dancing around out at second, got the attention of Cruz, but nobody covering. None of the middle infielders over on a play. The 1-2 to Guerrero. Foul back. Lost his, what's he got, a thumb guard maybe? Yeah, lost his thumb guard. 4 pitches, all splitters in this at bat thus far between Cruz and Guerrero. Fouled off. Still 1-2. These are not the most comfortable looking swings from Guerrero here against Cruz, but he can do that to you. Just like you see opposing hitters against Tyler Rogers not quite look like themselves, Fernando Cruz can do that too. Certainly can, especially when it's a different pitch like that. And a fastball at the knees to get him. The inning is over. The Blue Jays add a run and take a 3-run lead to the 9th. And here comes Louis. About Jacob Mizorowski of the Milwaukee Brewers, who threw a 1-hit shutout tonight, didn't walk a batter, and struck out 15 against the Phillies. Hit 105 with his fastball. Joe, he's given up 1 run in his last 8 starts.
It's a little inhumane what he's starting to do here. It's just unbelievable.
Here's Louis Varland on with a 3-run lead in the 9th. The 5th pitcher of the night for the Blue Jays. looking for save number 12.
Louis allowed just his second earned run of the season on Tuesday against the Phillies. Walked the leadoff hitter Bryce Harper, and he came around to score on a Bryson Stott double.
Drills in a strike at the knees to Paul Goldschmidt. And then a knuckle curve for strike 2. Swing and a miss. Out number 1. I mean, that's just not fair.
That is a young, fiery arm against a veteran hitter that's been around a long time, but there is no way he's catching up to that.
1 down. Here's Cody Bellinger. 1 for 4. Hit a 2-run homer in the 5th. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And Varland's got everything working right now. Bounced foul, it remains 0-2.
The challenge for hitters against Louis isn't just the velocity, isn't just the spin, it's everything. Every pitch he throws, the four-seamer, he mixes in a sinker. We saw it a Goldschmidt, curveball, slider, changeup, throws them all hard.
And has located so well this year, rarely misses over the heart of the plate. Ahead 1-2. Fouled off.
Boy, what a challenge with a hitter like Bellinger at the plate. Cody's up to it.
That was 101. That was the fastest pitch Varland's thrown this year. Grounded to short. Jimenez on the money. 2 down. Here on this Friday night at Rogers Center. The batter is Jazz Chisholm Jr. 1 for 3 with a walk. A changeup that clocked in at almost 96. Louis amped up tonight. Chisholm waves at the curveball. 1-1.
I think Jazz was swinging at that pitch, whatever it was. I think it was decided before it left his hand. But Louis will do that to you.
Strike 2. Chisholm will challenge.
Previous pitch is called a strike. The batter's challenge.
It's a strike.
That pitch is confirmed. New York is now out of challenges.
Joe, Louis Varland has thrown the 2 fastest pitches of his career in this inning.
Louis is rested and ready for this evening.
The 1-2. Taken low. Full. 8-5 Blue Jays 9th inning. And the noise Pulled foul. He struck out Goldschmidt, got Bellinger to ground out, now trying to finish off Jazz Chisholm Jr. Again, the 3-2. He froze him with a curveball to pick up save number 12, and the Blue Jays take the opener from the Yankees.
Blue Jays got out early in this one with a 5-0 lead. The Yankees got right back in it with 3 in the 5th, but the turning point in the ball game for me is the Blue Jays responding with 2 of their own in the bottom of the 5th inning. An RBI double by Guerrero, the RBI single by Kirk, and what a big win for this club, coming off the off day, coming into a series at home against the Yankees to take the opener.
Springer with a big night, Okamoto a big night, Kirk is back, and he had a big night, and the Blue Jays win the first game of the series by a score of 8-5. Time now for Sportsnet Central, presented by KFC. Once again, Martine and Jesse.